What is going on, everybody? Aaron Plaskis here from Financial Architects in Clive, Iowa. It is Wednesday afternoon. I am on my way to visit with a client with some planning that we've been putting together. And so while I'm driving that way, I had a few minutes to spare, and I thought that I would just do a quick little message. Sorry about that. I actually just recorded a really cool video for you guys that I will share it here probably later today or tomorrow. But I did periodically I do just surveys, and I'll go out and just get information and also do my own research. But I did a top five regrets that people have, or top 5 things people wish they would have done 10 years ago, which I am gonna send that to you. I think it's pretty interesting, eye-opening. Hopefully it'll help you guys a little bit. But while I was doing that, it made me think about something, and it's one component of financial planning that I think is really important to talk about this month in particular. And as it so happens, there's a couple of clients that we're actually working on this very thing right now. And it's the significance of life insurance and the place that it has inside of your financial plan. I think sometimes people say, life insurance, what do I need that for? Or it's too confusing, or I have enough, I set it up years ago, I'm good to go. And they set it and forget it. Well, this month is actually Life Insurance Awareness Month. It's actually a thing, people, believe it or not. But with that, I want to kind of latch onto that and sort of make that a theme for the rest of the month with some of my, some videos and some information that I'm going to send out. I really want to focus in on that topic because it's very misunderstood and underestimated, and people don't realize the role that it plays within the scope of your financial plan, how significant it is, until it's way too late. So the earlier you set this up, the better. And if you remember me, or if you've listened to me talk before, when I talk about planning, comprehensive planning, all aspects, insurance plays a role in this, because you want to make sure that you're protecting your assets. You're not protecting the assets and something goes wrong with your house, it gets flooded, for instance. Where's the money going to come from? It's going to come from your paycheck, or it's going to come from your savings, or your investments, your nest egg, in order to repair that because you weren't insured. If you insure properly, it allows and it guarantees that you're not going to have to change your course of action, whether it's today or in the future. Because what I don't want you doing is tapping into that nest egg. I don't want you dropping more dollars off of that balance sheet than necessary. My goal with you is to keep your money on the balance sheet, keep your assets growing, get you to a position where even when things go sideways, problems occur, unexpected life events take place, we've already accounted for that. And so the life insurance piece, we tend to kind of forget about because it's, let's face it, it's forgettable. But this is one of the very, very first pieces that need to be considered when you're looking at your financial plan. And it's something you have to look at at least once a year, because your assets change, your profile, your needs change, and your coverage needs to change with that. So I want to ask everybody tonight, those of you that are watching, do me a favor, go back, pull out your old policies and take a really good close look at them, because the significance that this is going to play over the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years is going to be huge. If you're positioning this correctly and efficiently, because I don't want you spending more on things than you need to. I want to keep that money, like I said, on your balance sheet. I want to see you saving it and growing it and hopefully investing with me, ideally. But we've got to make sure, above and beyond all else, that your biggest asset of all is protected, and that's the income. So if something happens to one person or the other, you need to make sure that you have that right amount of coverage in place. And again, I know a few of us recently have gone through some very detailed analysis in terms of how to best determine what is that right number. And the number's always going to be changing. And for most people, hopefully, if you're doing things well, the amount of coverage you need should be increasing throughout your life, because that means you're earning more, and that means your assets are growing, because that's what you're protecting. The other thing that this does is it opens the door to what you can do with your investments. And I'm going to make another video and talk about that a little bit more specifically later. The actual strategies and how you leverage things like your insurance in order to enhance and increase your returns on your investments, whether it's in your 401k, your mutual funds, your stock portfolio, bonds, your real estate. Very important for real estate. And of course, there's probably no segment of my client base that is more important for than for business owners, because this has many roles that it has to wind up taking throughout the duration of you owning your business. So I'll leave it at that. I just want to kind of bring that up and just point out that they should have done this earlier in the month, but annually this month, the month of August, is the Life Insurance Awareness Month. And so I want to try to bring some information to you guys and help you better understand when you need it, how much do you need, how do you go about doing it, what type, and really how it works in the context of everything else. Because again, listening, if you hear me talk, it's all about making sure that all your components are working in harmony with one another, that they're complementing each other. You've got to maintain that balance, and that goes for your protection as well. As a fiduciary, my responsibility above and beyond all else, before I ever take you into the market, before we ever go out and expose you to any sort of market risk, same for not just for the stock market, but also the real estate market, for those of you looking to build real estate portfolios. My responsibility to you and to clients is to make sure that you're fully protected first, that you're protecting your capital needs. Capital needs are the things that are most important, and for most of us, it's going to be your family. What's going to happen without that income? Same goes for disability. Now, disability oftentimes can be a lot easier for you because most of you can get good disability plans through work, and you don't have to think twice about it. But if you're self-employed, it's a different story. But right now, we're just talking about life insurance, and that's what I'm going to you kind of focus on for the rest of this month, and in recognition of Life Insurance Awareness Month. So that said, I'll cut it off here, and I've got a couple of things, specific topics that I want to talk to you guys about in terms of helping you understand what you should be looking for on your policies and how to read them. And I want to also invite you to give me a call, because I will help you better understand what you have or what you don't have, and if it's right or not, and I will steer you in the right direction. So that said, I'm going to cut you off here because I'm about to pull up to meet with my client, but I look forward to talking to you guys soon, and I'm excited to be able to share with you the little fun, interesting, I think it's interesting, the top 5 video that I recorded earlier today. So hope everyone's doing well, and I look forward to talking and hearing from you soon.